Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone. We'll kick off in 2 minutes. But before the rest of the guys join, is this mic working? Okay, yes, it is. Before the rest of the guys join, I just thought to ask us: did anybody do anything challenging this week? Or did anybody encounter any difficulty they would like to share? Or is anybody building anything new recently? Or is anybody at the phase of life where you are doing something new and you would like to share some of your experiences with us? Do we have anything like that? Or do I have anyone like that? I believe that at every point in time, everybody should be doing something new. Not necessarily something new, but I mean there should be like a new challenge or a new terrain you are trying to delve into. If we don't have any of such, then me, I can share. I can share something I'm working on that has been burning my cylinders. Just 2 minutes before we start. So I've been building a product called Ecclesia. I'm sure that, okay, yes, some persons here know, some persons do not know. What is Ecclesia? Ecclesia is a church administration tool. So this is my first time of building something personal that the world gets to use. All the projects I've worked on was for the companies I've worked with. But this is my first time of building a startup, building a flagship product, and it has come with a different level of challenge for me because now I'm dealing with administration because I have a couple of persons I'm working with. I'm dealing with financing, that's funding. I'm dealing with human resource. So it's a new level of challenge, but what I have learned is that the harder it gets, the more it shapes you and the more it forms you. So yeah, I thought to share that. Then I'm also at the phase of my life where I'm trying to re-engineer myself. So what do I mean by re-engineer myself? I'm at that phase where I'm considering everything I have learned or done before now to be relevant. So I'm at that phase where I'm trying to say, okay, if I'm starting my life, let's assume I'm starting my life all over. What are the things I will do or what are the things I would start doing? So that's what I'm doing now, and that's why I'm taking up new challenges, reading as much as I can. Some books that I think I should have read before now, but I mean the things I know now, I didn't know them before. So now I'm beginning to read again. I'm beginning to go into terrains that ordinarily I wouldn't, have delved into. I've started writing. By writing, I mean like writing books. So I'm trying to re-engineer myself to see what to come out of this phase of my life. I mean, I have a background in software engineering, but I decided to just, let's see if we can leave all of that a bit and begin to do something new. Oh, I just figured I've not been on camera. Let's leave all of that and begin to do, something new. So yeah, that's the phase I'm in, and it has really been interesting. Has anyone remembered something interesting they are working on or they are building that they would like to share with us? If not, we'll kick off immediately. All right, so we move. Go ahead, bro.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I've been on this project for yeah, for a while. For a while. I can't remember what. Let's say 2 months, 3 months ish, thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still concerning by I don't okay, I'm not sure. Some of people here don't actually know me. So I'm into a lot of things, but then I'm into fashion.
All right.
So So yes, I'm into fashion, and then in our line of business, fashion is something that I think it's because of fashion that thing came about. That change is constant kind of stuff because
Yeah.
yeah, you might sleep today and wake up tomorrow, and then there's something in trend that is very crazy, and
Yeah.
like and then the day you slept and woke like yesterday of that day, there
Yeah.
was something that was crazy. You've not even acquired that stuff yet. And then the next day they're out
Something
again with a
new.
lot of
Yeah.
something new. So it's a challenge, trust me. It's a challenge because most of the people that we serve or people that we reach out to, people
Mm-hmm.
are people that always want to be in sync with trend. Then this is happening, this will get and sometimes like you have this just I'm like bro, this thing just came out and some of them even bring it to my DM and they're bringing it the first time I've even seen it.
Yeah, I
You get
get
so
it. I get it.
in a case like that, they feel like bro, you're not serious. You just say you never see this thing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so, so after I just saw it as a big challenge. Though. Sometimes I'm ahead of them in the fashion industry, and because you get to do a lot of researches and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So when I realized that this thing is actually an issue, and then fashion world it just evolves speedily. Before you know it, like speed of light everywhere is off, and maybe the goods you bought last week are now old stock. Like you won't just imagine you bought some things last week, good amount of money, and you're yet to sell them. So in your mind, you're still in trend. And
Yes.
somebody comes today like, bro, this thing don't come out since now. Like, bro, it just came out last week. Like,
I get you. I get you
so
completely.
I feel like okay. So now the only way to keep up is that yes, I know that what I'm handling is people's brands like Balenciaga, Gucci, Fendi, every Louis Vuitton, so all and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I need to do something unique,
Mm-hmm.
right? I need to do my own brand.
Yeah.
I need to get my own branded product
So that
so
you
that
control the
even
trend.
when yes, so even when these clothes are trending, I have a manufacturer that
Yes.
can manufacture the same thing but with my own
With
brand.
your own brand.
Exactly.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So if let's say okay, people that make a lot of crazy beers now is Supreme. There's this company that's called Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes last 3 months was this. So that's just it just revolves. I think they do this pepper throwing. So they will not choose the time they will trend and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
because that company. So now, okay, so this thing is trending right now. So people don't get to wear because sometimes last year, people get to wear all these fancy design clothes and then something that is flashy and stuff. But then you just realize that okay, you have bought those clothes in bulk,
Mm-hmm.
and then people are no longer wearing it, bro. You tend to start saying, oh my god, what's going on? You
Yeah.
tend to start probably slashing the prices and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
So now, the problem that I faced in the whole journey of trying to build my own brand, first of all, is proper publicity. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
and then secondly, is indecision. Because look at the product that I've been working on for the
Yes.
past 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got a little glimpse of the design I want
Yeah.
just last.
Yes.
You get it.
Yes.
My team that I'm working with, like my graphic designer, the guy don't look me tired. Tell me, bro, if you be woman, wahala today, this one.
I get you. Because the market is moving faster than you want it to.
Yes,
So it
thank
becomes
you.
a challenge making a choice. I get you
I mean,
completely.
that's so. I just conclude on something tonight. Tomorrow when I'm waking up, I'm entering Instagram, bro. That thing, bro, that thing don't make it. the strong thing, the fashion will not be making sense against me.
I get you completely. I
So,
get you
in a
completely.
case like that,
Yeah.
because I agree that as a they were telling me that, okay, bro, when you want to enter this thing, first of all, you have to get a good manufacturer, you have to get a good blah 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 whatnot. But that's not my problem. I have good manufacturers that are waiting for me to give them designs.
Yes.
Yeah. So in a case like this, I'm in between things. I'm in between. Should I get the clothes that are in trend now in my mind that I think are in trend now, was under my own brand, or I should get some of those clothes that are in trend now, still under my own brand, and then get all those clothes that I feel that, okay, they might be in trend very soon, and then keep them unbranded. I don't know if this makes sense.
I get you completely. I get you
Exactly.
completely.
So that in most cases now, people just get to wear, okay, let's say they want a plain t-shirt, or by the pocket side, it just has one little logo there or something like that, or that or what. So I'm asking, should I go on and make bulk production of clothes like that?
So
But the fear now is that it's 50-50. What if it goes out of trend?
it goes.
Stop hearing.
So the thing is this. I feel like there are people that what controls trend is influence. So there are people that are influential enough to wear something and it becomes fashion. Now your brand can do that when your brand has gained enough influence and publicity like you had mentioned earlier. So I think you're better off with a mix of the two, because sincerely speaking, it's not only trend that people can buy. There are some custom wears that are not really trendy but useful that people would generally want to wear anytime, any day. For example, there's this jacket I love wearing. I think I wore one last week Monday. I feel like something like that will be something that people would always buy, especially people that like such outfits. So you might want to go with a blend of the two. Look for something that doesn't easily go out of fashion. I know that there are some wears like shoes. Shoes are fast.
Yeah.
Shoes are fast. As you are buying one, another one is coming out. So shoes are fast. But there are kind of shoes that don't really move much. For example, there are plain corporate shoes, and those shoes are what they are. So what I mean by they are what they are is that you can't take it to any extreme. It's either too high or it's too low. These are dress shoes, and they are just what they are. They are plain. So those kind of wears are not controlled by trend. So what you might want to do is you can start from there to start exploring some of the kind of clothes that are not so much controlled by trend. By the time you do that and your brand gains an influence, you can use your brand influence to decide what people wear.
Okay.
You can use your brand influence to decide what people, because sometimes people no longer check is it in trend or is it not in trend. People now check what brand. If Gucci produces anything today, it becomes the trend. You feel me? If Toyota produces anything, it becomes the trend. When Steve Jobs was building, is it Steve Jobs now, the Apple guy? Is it Steve Jobs? Or do you know, I always forget this thing. Or yes, I think it's Steve Jobs. When he was building Apple and his marketing team came to him and said, please, we want $80 million for marketing. He told them that he doesn't need marketing. That the market does not know what they need until he tells them. You see this thing now? That's a powerful thing, bro. He trusted his creativity so much that he knew that he was the trend. So that's something you might want to do. Go with a mix like what you said. Don't totally pull out, but you need to do some experiment, know where the market is tilted towards. I'm sure that on the long run, you would find the right balance. And when your brand gains influence, you can now begin to manufacture your own style. Like you can come up with your own style, something that is not even in the market, and your manufacturer builds it and people want to wear it.
Okay.
But that's an interesting problem to solve. I would like to see how that plays out. So, nice one. Sonny, I see you raising your hand. I saw someone else too raising their hands. So what we're doing is we're asking people, do they have challenge? For those that are just coming, do you have any challenging thing you're doing? Okay, I see Icon City. Please go ahead. Do you have any challenging thing you're working on? Before we talk about what we have to talk about, I just felt like people should share their challenges. I've shared mine. Is there anything you're building? Right? Are you at the phase of your life? Is there anything you're building? What are the challenges you're facing? And all of that. So Icon City, let's hear from you if you're actually raising your hand. Icon City, if you're speaking, you're mute. Sonny, Ihanacho, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, welcome, Sonny.
So, I like the direction you've taken this in, and I think it's worthwhile I speak up. Let me borrow the words of Mr. Dan, but he said he's into many things, just like me too. I'm into so many things. One being agriculture.
We deal on deals.
Selling of fabrics, working for a company, trying to build a consultancy, trying to become an examination supervisor, and so many things. Yeah, why they all are important? But I think it has gotten to a point where the bandwidth for doing so many things has been exceeded, and I think it's time now where I re-engineer my
Consolidate.
direction and then be able to hold on something, build it where I should, and then explore every opportunities within that sphere. So what am I trying to say? I've been doing so many things, but I don't know if there's any challenge that is called niche problem. I do a lot, but there's no particular niche I can say this is my core direction. Maybe it's based on passion, I would say farming, but I've seen so many limitations. It's not that I'm not still doing it, but the challenges seems bigger than the game. So, like for instance, I tried establishing the plantain and the banana farm, but one challenge has been the land. So we own some pockets of land in my village, but the locations of those lands are not something I think I want to invest my money in. I mean, based on the plantain and banana farming, because
proximity to market.
Yes. So even the security of the crops
yes.
becomes a problem. Yeah. So, but this has been the challenge. I've done some. I think I've planted over 70 of the crops, right? But I've not gotten to that point yet because my target is only over 1,000 plantains and over 1,000 bananas. I think that's when I can say I've started something. But these lands are not where I can do it. And at this point, I cannot go buy the land. Neither can I even say let me lease a land because I've done some analysis. But what is if I decide to buy those things or lease out in land, like leasing land, I might not actually do well based on my analysis, my calculation, and how I see it, because it's something that is not actually predictable as we think. So this land has become a very big challenge to the business, and it has stalled the growth of the farm.
Yeah.
And it has even made me not to take it serious the way I should.
I get you.
It has been much of a concern to me. So I don't know. I just think I need to speak up at this point.
Is it possible for you to get people in that area? Because your major problem is the security of your crops, right?
Yes.
Is it possible to get people in that location and get them, because people do things like this, how do they secure it? So is it possible to get some people in that location for them to be responsible for the security, because I understand the peculiarity of this situation. Plantain has to do with food. Somebody that is hungry will fry your plantain. So you you will need to empower somebody that you have to empower him enough for him not to see your plantain as a source of food.
Yeah.
So is it, and because if you say you should even put a fence or anything, it's going to still be a challenge if you are not there. In the night, they will calm down, enter the place, calm down and harvest as much as they want and leave. So it's a real problem. But if it is possible to find out how other people in those locations do their farm, and if there is a central security in that area that helps guard the farm. And now, if you are putting all those things in place, you now consider if you factor in the cost of securing it plus the cost of planting the crops and the cost of transporting it to the market, you also need to make sure that it is not above the market price, because it then means you are not in business. So you might want to consider all of this. Then secondly, if it is really a business you want to do, passion doesn't matter. Your time that passion doesn't matter. You can love to do something so much, but there is no business there. You just forget it and move into something else. That is life. No matter how passionate you are about it, if that is one of the vehicles you want to go enter to make money, and you observe that having seen all the cards on the table, there is no business there, you move on. Because sometimes we're passionate about something, but there's no head to it. So what we do is just to move on and look for something else, pending when we get favorable conditions. Because if you're able to lease a land, maybe somewhere in Enugu where you are closer to the land and all of that, then it can be easy. But you need to find out, how do people that have plantations secure it? It's a research you need to do, because I'm sure that is going to be the same way. And what you're facing is a real struggle. So how do they do it? So that's something you need to find out. Then look at the other things you are trying to do. Maybe there's something else in your line of thought that you probably should give more attention to for now than the farming. Because if you're doing farming and you have like a farmhouse where people that work for you want all of that, it's easier to get accountability. But if you're not there and you're doing farming remotely, comes with its own challenges. But yeah, just do your findings. Thank you so much for sharing. Icon City, are you able to talk now?
Good evening, Pastor.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Welcome. So what are you building?
Okay, so I'm a software engineer and I'm trying to build my own startup. That's been crazy, sharp. The current idea is that I have, or I'll say we have, because I'm working in conjunction with some persons. The first one is about I'll call it the CRM, or it's more like a CMS or a CRM rather.
Okay.
What it does is it helps you manage marketing across social media platforms.
Okay.
So I know it's kind of like a big idea too, but from the part where it's coming from is we'll be leveraging RAG technology, that is retrieval augmented systems, like with AI. So get AI to get all the content necessary, feed this content, scrub mails from the group chats and stuff. But we're taking it a step further by kind of integrating a kind of way of catalog, or let me just call it a catalog basically, because we are not going to do a conventional e-commerce system for each business that are operating the system. It will be like Shopify, or this not just be targeting social media platforms. So, and people who are like marketing things. So, for example, you are selling things online. Especially, you have a group where you are posting your products. You choose to post there, back to post. Maybe you are into real estate or let's say properties. These people that sell these properties. So somebody can come and need something in that platform, but you find it difficult to maybe search for that thing effectively. So our system is designed to scrub those platforms or scrub those groups rather, index it. So you particularly, if somebody comes to the platform looking for something, can be directed to a catalog. You search for the catalog directs you to know if that product you want is still in inventory or is not. So sometimes the product you are looking for might be sold out or is still there. And it will also aid the group, admins of the group for the posting, for them to also share to other social media, and so everything is think just because of that platform. So
That's really
where we are having issue is in terms of me. Actually, I would say where I am having issue because I'm kind of like the brain behind everything. So I kind of like develop the plan out. Then people, my guys, like me and my friends, will work on it. The way I'm having issue is after some brief period of reflection and prayer. Looking at how relevant it's going to be, because I open WhatsApp only to see that WhatsApp have already implemented RAG. They implemented RAG on WhatsApp. And WhatsApp was my main target. And it brought me to the realization of even the evaluation rather. We use that word evaluation. I've been evaluating my career points for the past 2 weeks now. I've just been, or 3 weeks, a month now, looking at the encroaching of AI into software in general, in terms of how it's reshaping how the field is, the career and everything, especially how AI is basically doing virtually almost everything. For last month, Fable 5 and some other wonderful programs came out, and I saw what it could go out like, and that's not the beginning of it. It can only get better.
so. How many years of experience do you? Hello, Icon City. Can you hear me?
Feel like getting to 5, or roughly basically 4. I started in my second year.
Okay.
My second year.
Okay.
Yeah, and this idea, I got it last year, but I think the delay. In fact, I was so happy I came for your program, Believers and Career.
Mm-hmm.
If not, honestly, I would have not been taking any step. It's from there that I started, and I also came for evaluate for that to start. I also came for evaluate, so and also being in this group. So from there I started looking at everything, especially the idea of king priest, the idea of being a king and a priest. Some of the things that prompted me to, and it was as if God tried to tell me that the more you delay, the more you are just missing the mark of being on time to be relevant on
First
time.
person's advantage.
So I think that's where I'm
so
challenges, because I'm also considering it is giving me cold feet, but
so
I need to do something.
Let me help you. The thing about ideas is that idea is 2.50 Naira. What type of ideas? 2 Naira? Ideas are the easiest things to have. Immediately you have an idea, someone else is working on it. So it now becomes a game of who launches first. That's number one. Number two, there are areas you will want to go into that are heavily saturated, in the sense that you're going to be playing with the big players in the market. And even if your idea is good enough and is different enough, once they see it, they have enough resources to build and even build better. Except you have an advantage that they don't and they pitch to buy. It's a possibility, but it is hard. So why I'm saying this is, whenever you have an idea, it's good to start executing it as fast as you can. Now, number 2, the system you talked about is an interesting system, but like you said, WhatsApp had built it. A lot of, even outside WhatsApp, I and a group of friends started talking about something similar some months ago, and all of a sudden it looks like everybody's building something like that. Do you get? So one thing I can leave with you is, go back to your drawing board and find one thing look for your competitors, then find one thing they are not offering. And see if you can start with that thing as your MVP. Now, see what it will do for you. You need to understand that it is not just about trying to rise or trying to be a superstar. Now, I'm trying to also use this to talk to everybody in this group. It's not just about you are trying to rise, you're trying to be a superstar or trying to be the next big thing. Some of us are just trying to execute the burdens in our heart. And executing a burden in your heart, thinking is God that sent you. Even if it is not God that sent you, he honors it because you thought it was the one. Now see what he does. He prepares you for the main thing. I consider, are you getting me? He prepares you for the main thing. If you try building this project and you try seeing it, you build it, whether it works or it does not work, it gives you so much mileage such that when next an idea comes, you have gathered enough experience to spill it out quick. I had an idea 2 years ago. October, I was in Lagos. God told me, in fact, he laid it in my heart to build a church administration tool, an AI church administration tool. Now, I had cold feet with it until sometime in March or May this year. Somebody reached out to me to say he wants to build the same system. He's looking for a software engineer and told me exactly the same name of the system, which is Ecclesia. So I had to start building Ecclesia from that time, and I launched Ecclesia about a month ago, which is a church administration tool. He's already on Instagram. We're putting out our content. Our website is ready and all of that. Somebody met me and said, bro, how you sure say people go use this thing? Because I'm trying to answer a question about re-evaluating, is this thing needed the relevance? So the person asked, how you sure say people go and buy this thing? I told him, that's not my worry. My worry is that I fulfilled this burden. And guess what? In building Ecclesia, I saw 1,000,001 things I could build. Like, it opened my eyes to 1,000,001 things I could build. We recently integrated AI into Ecclesia. And that was the first time I'm doing AI integration. You can't even imagine what that thing exposed me to. So what I'm trying to say is this. If you feel the burden to do that, do it. With 4 years of experience, there is so much you can learn if you start building that thing. Bro, you will learn so much that you will find out what you should build that is not in the market. That's number one. Then number 2, as a software engineer, coding problem has been solved, but engineering problem has not been solved. So your field is relevant. You just need to know how, not coding, engineering. What do I mean by engineering? System design, system architecture. That problem has not been solved. A vibe coder can tell Claude to build an app. The day the app needs to scale, he will get stuck. By the time you start handling distributed system, microservices, Kubernetes, Nginx server, load balance, rate limiting, those are real engineering issues. It is not as if AI does not know it, but a vibe coder doesn't even know what to ask. I hope I've helped you. Yup. Flourish.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Flourish. Let's hear from you.
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
So, I have a question.
Okay.
I'm currently building like a fashion brand, like I sew and stuff. So, but recently I was having an idea on cosmetic formulation. That's in the beauty aspects, because fashion and beauty, like, yeah, adjacent.
I agree.
Right? So, but the problem here is that one, I'm still in school, and I was just really thinking about it. I wanted to start sometime next year, but by next year I'll still be in school, and I just feel like maybe I'm rushing the process because I feel like cosmetic is okay. The thing here with my service business is that service is not something that everybody can easily afford anytime, right? So I was thinking the product might, because it's something that once it has constant cash flow attached to it, and once it starts going, people are willing to buy as far as the product is good. But I was just feeling like I was in a hurry too much. Like I just need to calm down and then maybe launch out when I finish from school, so that I'm able to put in my best to it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm still considering starting sometime now, because I've made my research, I've studied the market to an extent. I feel like I can pull it off if I put my head into it. But then I also feel like I should calm down. So I just need to know what you think about it. That's the first question I have.
So the thing is this. When you talk of cosmetics, are you trying to sell?
No, formulation.
Formulation. So do you know? So that means you will go learn how to do the formulation, correct?
Yes.
Beautiful.
But it's not, okay, the type of formulation I was going into is not chemical product. It's more like the natural product. So we have shea butter, we have oils and the rest of it. So it doesn't really need a lot of study, as it were, like compared to the chemical products.
All right. So which means it's something you can easily learn.
Yes.
Okay. I want to tell you this. Naturally, I do not see clothing and cosmetics going together. If any other person in this group has an alternative idea, they can let me know. But it's not something I have ever seen together.
Okay.
It is fashion, but clothing probably is in another sphere. If you had like a boutique where you sell female wears, right? And now you are now also selling some cosmetic products. Fine. It makes sense. But you are a designer.
Okay.
It might work. It might work, but somewhere in my head, I think you need to ask yourself, which of these things do I want to be known for first?
Okay.
If you want to be known for the fashion or the designing and making clothes, you probably want to stay on that path a little longer. Build your brand there, build your strength, understand what the market does, build your customer base,
Okay.
so that when you're transitioning, it is clear. Because if you go and put in some effort into this now, by the time you're done learning the formulation and you start producing, you will still meet the roadblock of marketing, advertising, sales, business management, branding. These 5 things I mentioned are 5 constants no matter the business you're going into. So I think you should look for one of these 2, because I like the idea of the cosmetic thing. I honestly do love it, because it never go, like, it's something that once people know your brand is good, like you said, they would always buy.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one, but you need to decide, which one do I want to do now? That is the first thing. Then secondly, you are still in school. School will take some of your time. You also need to ask yourself, how much time do I have from my school activity? Which of these will I put in that amount of time and gain maximum result? Or which of these will give me the best result if I put in this amount of time.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So that would not
Yes,
help you
yes.
decide the one you want, because it's enough that you're in school. But now trying to do two things at once is going to be a struggle. Choose one that you want to know, or you want to do, or you want to start with. Then check how much time you have from your entire school journey from now till when you're going to be done with school, and see, okay, if I commit XYZ amount of time into this, would it be better off, or should I do this?
Okay.
So that's
Thank
it.
you so much. I'm grateful.
You're welcome. So guys, I think every one of us has I like the fact that we share the things we are building, because you see, I have a lot to teach us, but it's not something I can do in one sitting. Being a builder, or thinking about ways to do something, ways to solve a problem, is a very intricate nature of God that He rewards. He rewards it. He rewards it. So I like the fact that we are all thinking, what can I build? What can I do? It's very important. Very, very, very important. So I'm going to take a few minutes to go into our teaching for today. I want to wrap up the morning talk today. And I have a lot to teach today. And I'll try to teach it in 15 minutes. Fortunately, what I have to share today is really important. But I also like the fact that we took our time to hear what we are building and all of that. Maybe one day, sometime in future, we all will come together to form a company, come up with a product. It can be a software product, it can be in fashion, it can be in food, share something, and we explore everybody's skills, put it into the company, and see what comes out of it. And I think we should do it. It's something we can do. Look for. So I think let us just start thinking, what can we do together? We'll just come up with something, and everybody bring in their expertise. We run it and see how it goes. So let's go into our money talk. Today I'll be starting with, how do we give to God? The essence of all these teachings about money, okay, the one for last week and the one we're going to do today, is to the end that we do not become slaves. Money is a bad master, but it's a good tool. Now, how do we give to God? Please, I want us to pay close attention. I'm going to be reading from Malachi chapter 1, verse 6 to 14. Very powerful scripture, and I'm sure that some of us have seen it. The Lord of heaven armies says to his priest, the son honors his father, and the servant respects his mother. If I'm your father, let me turn this. If I'm your father and master, where are the honor and respect I deserve? You have shown contempt for my name, but you ask, how have we ever shown contempt for your name? You have shown contempt by offering defied sacrifices on my altar. Then you ask, how have we defied the sacrifices? You defy them by saying, sorry. You defy them by saying the altar of the Lord deserves no respect. When you give blind animals as sacrifices, isn't that wrong? Isn't that wrong to offer animals that are crippled and diseased? Try giving gifts like that to your governor and see how pleased he is, says to the Lord of heaven armies. So what does he mean? Whenever you're giving something to God, even if it's small in your own eyes, let it not be from a mind of leftover. That's just the way I'm going to explain this. Let it never be from a mind of leftover. Let it never happen. Last week we said, if you're finding it hard to give to God, it's because you don't believe. Nobody knows what works and does not do it. If you trust God and you understand who He really is, giving to Him is going to be simple. I'm just trying to move. Giving to Him is going to be easy. Now, every one of us gives something. If you're not giving to God, there's something else you're giving to. It is true. That is why when people say you go to church, you give money and all of that, I'm like, if I don't give my money in church, I'll be giving it somewhere else. And you can't tell me anything that someone else has more than me simply because I give to church. Nothing. You can't look at my life now and say you don't have A, B, C because you're giving to God. I mean, this does not mean that I have everything I want. But what I mean is that I have everything I'm meant to have, technically. So giving to God didn't reduce my financial status. And giving to God never reduces anybody's financial status. I told us about the rich young ruler last week. I'm not going to go into that place again. Now, how do we give? You give cheerfully. You give without entitlement. You don't give and expect commitment. It's not always. It's not every giving that should be a sacrifice. It's not every giving that should be from a tight chest. Some givings are out of love. It's not every giving that is a seed or that is sowing. It's not everything that is sowing. Now, I'm going to quickly tell us something I found in the Bible while preparing for this, and I think everybody should pay close attention to me. I stumbled upon the story of Solomon where he gave 1,000 burnt offerings. And prior to now, I always thought, because this is what was always used to teach us sacrificial giving. Solomon gave 1,000 burnt offerings and God showed up. Only for me to realize that what Solomon did was not a sacrifice. I know now everybody will be like, what was this guy saying? What was this guy saying? Now let me land. God help me. Solomon's 1,000 burnt offering wasn't a sacrifice because it was 1,000. It wasn't a sacrifice because of the cost. God did not show up because Solomon gave something expensive. No. In fact, in the Levitical order, sacrifice is anything that has blood. So even if somebody gave a dove, killed a dove, and burnt it before the Lord, it was seen as a sacrifice. So what made Solomon's offering a sacrifice is the same thing that made every animal offering a sacrifice, because he gave something that has blood. Now let me push this thing further. The equivalent of what Solomon gave was about 1 month's feeding bill in the palace. What do I mean? In the palace, what they eat in a month is about 900 cows. So you will see that it is equivalent of 1,000 cows. So it was like Solomon gave the money that will be used to feed people in the palace. When I found this, it just shook the base of my imagination. So, if you go to 1 Kings 3 now or 13, you will see where the Bible says Solomon loved the Lord. And that was why, that was the basis of his giving. Solomon didn't give out of crisis. He didn't have a prayer point. He wasn't like he was drowning with it. There was a demand. It was just a worship devotion to God. And Solomon had over excess even after giving the 1,000. In fact, before the dedication of the temple, Solomon gave 22,000 cows. So the 1,000 burnt offering, God showed up because this was out of love. As a matter of fact, what kings were meant to give in the Old Testament, as if for atonement now, was like just to bring one animal. So Solomon wasn't coming for a request. He wasn't coming to sow a seed to reap. He wasn't coming because there was crisis. He wasn't giving it and saying, oh God, I'm giving you out of everything. No, it wasn't that. This was just, I love you, Lord. Make I just do giveaway. So what this would mean is that sacrifices are good. Giving God something that would cost you is good and is encouraged. But I tell you the truth, it is not only sacrifices that can provoke God. When you come to the point where you're giving to God, like, I don't want anything in return, God will deserve. In fact, Do you know, I can't remember the last time I gave God a sacrifice. Like, I started thinking about it today. Then I realized that I can't remember the last time I gave God a sacrifice. It's not as if I don't give, but I figured out that giving from a free heart is powerful. It doesn't have to be tight-chested. It doesn't have to feel like you're drowning. You can imagine when we're growing up, some of us grew in homes where if we maybe ask for school fees or something, all the pains our parents went through to get that money, we will feel it. It made it so uncomfortable to even ask. In as much as God wants sacrifices, he doesn't want always that feeling of drowning when you want to give. It's a powerful secret. Let me move. How should I spend my money on myself? Modesty. The irony about oppression is that once you are oppressed, you will want to do back. If you're thinking like that, you're still poor. Because that is what poor people do. Poor people want to show. Modesty. If your desire to make money is to eat what you want, drink what you want, and all of that, you need to watch it. Watch it. Watch it closely. Watch it closely. Worldliness is not far. You do not need to wear something tight or revealing to reveal your flesh. Anything you wear that draws attention more than it should, you should look into it. You guys, I don't even know if you're ready for this teaching. Anything you wear that draws attention more than it should, you should look into it. Look into it, because you might be revealing flesh and you don't know. If one person is distracted by what you are wearing the wrong thing. I'm going to tell you something that happened to me. The first day I ever moved in the manifest power of God, let me share with you what happened. That I was meant to preach in church, and I've always been asking God, I want to move in power, because me, I want everything. I too like power. So there is this ring I always wear. It was a fashion ring. I too like fashion. So I was on the keyboard, because I play keyboard for my church. So I was playing the keyboard while they were introduced. So they introduced me as I was about going up. God said, take off that ring. I'm like, what's going on? So I dropped the ring. I pulled up the ring, kept it on the keyboard, climbed the pulpit, told everybody to sit down. I wasn't expecting anything to happen. And I just started singing. And the presence of God hit the room so mighty. People were literally falling off their chairs. Then I understood. One thing that makes the glory of God come towards you is that you do not use what you wear to distract people. What I'm sharing with you is powerful. You can look good without having to go the extra mile to prove a point. I'm going to leave it there. Like I said last week, God will not be the one resisting us. There are people that God is practically resisting. The people you consider to be rich and wicked today, I'm telling you, they are not the worst. There are people that are poor, and God is just saving us, because God knows if money enter these people's hand. If money enter these people's hand, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. Now, covetousness and greed is the next thing. True wealth is contentment. If you have 1 billion and you are not contented and you are still stealing, are you really rich? Covetousness means I want this. Greed means I want more. The question is, do you want more? Do you want more than others? Have you ever been in a scenario where you have a wardrobe full of clothes and you say, I don't have anything to wear? It's because the place you are going, the place you want to go to, you have gauged it. Kai, this place where I go now, I get the kind of thing where I need wear. It happens to a couple of us. It happened to a couple of us. Covetousness hides behind ambition. It hides behind faith language. It hides behind comparison masked in faith. It hides behind ambition. Some people try to say they are ambitious, but they are covetous. That ambition never came until they saw what somebody else had or has. So this is an opportunity for all of us to do a heart check. You can see what somebody else has, and they motivate you to say, me too, Lord. But if you desire that thing in an unhealthy way, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. How do I know when I need to watch my association with money? When you worry. Yes. Worry is usually a proof that you and money have an unhealthy relationship. Worry. Because worry is a proof that you don't trust God. Secondly, you focus on what other people have. It is always about what other people have. What you have is never enough. The third one, which is where I'm going to wrap up this night on my D Justice in 15 minutes. You use your money to measure your worth. I will wrap up here, and I'm going to take like extra 5 minutes. You use your money to measure your worth. Do you know that one of the most important things you need in life is relationship? But some of us shy away from every other good thing simply because we don't have money. When it's time to meet and associate with people, you feel worthless because you don't have money. You don't need money to learn interpersonal skills. You don't need money to learn communication. You don't need money to learn how to manage relationships. But for the mere fact that you don't have money, you just feel you are worthless. It shouldn't be so. Never define your worth with money. Never do that. This is what breeds on culture that there are people I see, they have money but they are catastrophic. They will just be bearing one funny name. You will just they will have one funny name, but you will see that these people are a menace. The only thing they know how to promote is drug, alcoholism, prostitution. I have seen people like that. And do you know why? Because when they didn't have it, they felt that money was everything. So they never built character. Now, let me tell you one thing in conclusion. The poor man thinks money is everybody's problem because it is their problem. But the rich man that has money now knows that the poor man has hope. Let me explain. Otedola once said he suffered depression. And they asked him, with all the money you have, he said, yes, he suffered depression. If Otedola was poor and was depressed, he would have hope. You know why? Somewhere in his mind, if I later get the money, everything will be all right. But you will become miserable the moment you have the money and you were never able to fix any of these things I talked about. Then you would realize that the only reason you even had peace of mind was the money you did not have, because he gave you hope. So this brings us to the end of this teaching. I just try to wrap it up today. I'm going to do another teaching on money, but I'm going to focus on the keys of wealth. I'm going to talk about abundance and lack in proper detail, but it might not be this month, it might not be next month. I'll just give us the keys, something that we can apply directly, actionables that we can apply directly to our mind and any business we are doing. I'm taking my time to gather this thing properly so that I don't teach us anything that is wrong. So the next time we're going to talk about money, I'm going to tell us the keys. I think there are about 5 or 7. The things that we need to apply to our business, to our mind, to begin to walk in wealth. And let me tell us this. I said it before. Believe that it is not difficult to make money. Just believe it. So long as you're always coming here, I want you to take it, believe it, that making money is not hard. If you see anybody that says things like, some people don't know how hard it is to make money, shut your ears to it. I was listening to Myron Golden and he said that how he knows that you work harder than him is that you make less money. You can't imagine that once he sees you are making around $100,000, he just knows that this one works really hard. And guess what? Every other wealthy person sounds the same way. So believe it is easy to make money. What it will do is that it will start pushing you to find out the easy ways to make money. Thank you so much for joining this night. It was nice speaking with you guys. Next week, we are going to either talk about everything works, or we are going to talk about AI tools that every one of us can apply. How to do research with AI. I'm going to bring one of us here. He's very experienced with all those AI tools. So he's going to bring, he has a plethora of them. So he's going to expose us to all of that. Then I'm also speaking with somebody that is a communication expert to come and teach us how to communicate. So I'm going to schedule a date with him, because why it is important is a lot of information you're going to get in life is going to be passed through a communication medium. Your ability to be able to understand, comprehend, and respond is probably going to make 60 to 70% of your success journey. Comprehension, understanding, and responding, they are very important. When teachings like this are going on, different people are hearing different things based on their level of understanding. So we are going to fix that. Once I get a date with the guy, he's going to come here and he's going to teach us. Afterwards, I'm going to bring, I know some of us met Mr. Samuel in Believer and Career Conference last year. And by the way, Believer and Career Conference this year is coming up, October 17th. I'm going to share a flyer. Chisom, I'm going to send the flyer to you so that you will send to the group. But please, let nobody share the flyer publicly. He is our anticipate flyer. Let nobody share it publicly yet till we give a go ahead. It's just for our eyes and for our eyes alone. Our theme for this year is the creator and his creatives. The things I personally am going to be sharing in that meeting, whenever